Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. APN News list of candidates filled with vibrant and passion-driven youths. Norton. GDF commissions a $790 million tugboat ARAU to support dredging offshore work. JAGS Aviation hosts inaugural youth conference, and national security system now actively combating illegal mining and smuggling. NISA Director. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm ALETHEA Grant with the Tuesday, 15th July 2025 edition of the HGP Nightly News. This is what you should know this evening. A Partnership for National Unity APN News list of candidates consists of predominantly young and intellectually inclined individuals, as was promised by the party's presidential candidate, Aubrey Norton. Notable names such as attorneys at law Eden Corbin, Dexter Todd, Ronald Daniels, Royce Ford, and Sherwin Benjamin are all included on the list.
The Ghana Elections Commission has approved the list of candidates from the national top-up list submitted by the coalition of parties under the Partnership for National Unity. On that list, over 60% of the names provided are ages 40 and below. Ghana's electoral system provides for the National Assembly to comprise at least 65 elected members, 25 from the 10 geographical constituencies and 45 from the national top-up list. According to Ghana's constitution, 1/3 of the candidates nominated should be female. Among the names and new faces included on the Partnership for National Unity's list of candidates are Dr. Terence Cramble, Yubraj Narain, former city mayor, Dr. Dexter Todd, Eden Corbin, Ronald Daniels, Saiku Andrews, Deputy Mayor of Linden, Dominique Blair, Rivaldo Borbal, Mahela McCalmont, Tahiri Adams, Shanika Haynes, Onyx Duncan, and Dylan Mohammed. The party's presidential candidate, Aubrey Norton, had indicated that he's all about fully engaging youth leadership and representation.
It is a balanced list. It has young people. It has qualified people. It has people with experience. And I do believe that when you look at the qualifications and certification of the people in the list, I think it will appeal more than any other list.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Although the party's prime ministerial candidate is yet to be announced, former members of Parliament Tabitha Sabaro Haley and Natasha Singh Lewis are among the list of nominees for the newly established We Invest in Nationhood Party, led by businessman Azruddin Mohammed. Antonio Day reports.
The We Invest in Nationhood's party list of nominees were approved by the Ghana Elections Commission. The national top-up list of candidates were submitted by the party's presidential candidate, Azruddin Mohammed. Former members of Parliament Tabitha Sarabo Hali, Don Hastings Williams, and Natasha Singh Lewis are on that national top-up list. Sarabo Hali told the media she has responded to the cries of the Guyanese people, the reason for her decision to join the WIN party that has been turning heads since its establishment.
For me personally, I had to make a decision. The people made a choice. The people are choosing something different. The people have decided that what existed for the last 50 years is not working for them, that they want to see something different, something new. And they're hoping with that new thing that they would be able to get what it is that they truly deserve as Guyanese citizens. And my purpose and my role as a servant leader is to ensure that the people get what it is that they deserve.
It is important to note that Hastings Williams and Singh Lewis were members of the People's National Congress Reform, while Sarabo Hali was part of the Partnership for National Unity. Dr. Mark Franz, representative for the A New and United Ghana ANUG, which has joined forces with WIN, is also on the list of candidates. With the submitted list of candidates being approved, 2 or more parties can still combine their lists, and the total votes they all receive will determine seat allocation in the National Assembly. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Guyana's maritime capacity has received a major boost with the commissioning of a $790 million tugboat. On Tuesday, the Maritime Administration Department, MARAD, officially added the new vessel ARAU to its fleet to support dredging and offshore operations. Tiana Cole has more details.
The Maritime Administration Department, MARAD, has commissioned its newest addition, the 1606 stand tug, ARAU, at a cost of approximately $790 million. The commissioning ceremony held on Tuesday marked a significant step forward in the modernization of Guyana's maritime capabilities. The ARAU is the second newly built vessel to join MARAD's fleet and is expected to serve multiple purposes, including providing crucial support for dredging operations along the country's wharves. Minister of Public Works Juan Edil, who attended the ceremony, said the acquisition of the motor tug ARAU demonstrates government's ongoing commitment to expanding and upgrading the maritime sector.
Modernize this sector and to ensure its relevance is there and its effectiveness is not compromised.
Minister Edil Ford emphasized that with the growth of the oil and gas industry, particularly offshore operations, there is an urgent need for enhanced administrative and operational systems to support the sector.
We now have a special unit in MARAD that specializes and exclusively deals with offshore activities.
He noted that the state's operational capabilities in maritime administration have been significantly strengthened, transitioning from outdated, broken-down vessels to a fleet that is poised to meet international standards. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thanks, Tiana. Join us after the break. We'll have more news for you. Welcome back. You with the HGP Nightly News. Antonio De informs us now that JAGS Aviation is engaging youths interested in being involved in the aviation sector through an inaugural youth conference. Here is more.
The inaugural Youth Conference on Aviation, which is sponsored and facilitated by JAGS Aviation, a member of the BK Group of companies, is aimed at inspiring the next generation of aviation professionals. Captain Carl Rodney, operations manager at JAGS, briefly recounted his experience when he started out as an aircraft engineer.
I went on to flight school in the United States of America, where I got my commercial pilot's license, my flight instructor rating, and now my airline transport pilot's license with a Boeing 737 type rating.
In addressing the gathering of young people, Captain Rodney noted that the aviation sector is filled with vast opportunities.
Any career that you choose in aviation is a dynamic one, is always changing, you're always learning.
This groundbreaking program was envisioned by New York-based Guyanese aviation advocate Havelock Hall, a Queen's College alumnus and retired USAF Tech Sergeant, in collaboration with Patrick Stevens, fellow QC alumnus and the Ghana-based liaison for JAGS Aviation. Participants were also given the opportunity to tour the JAGS Bradley hangar. From Tuesday, July 15 to Wednesday, July 16, students will experience a curated agenda designed to bring aviation to life. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
As Guyana continues to confront growing national security challenges, Director of the National Intelligence and Security Agency, Colonel Sheldon Howell, is assuring the public that robust systems are in place and actively working to protect the country's people, resources, and territory. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
On Tuesday, Episode 4 of Safeguarding Our Nation aired, featuring Colonel Sheldon Howell, Director of the National Intelligence and Security Agency, NISA. He explained that the country's national security architecture brings together all arms of the government to safeguard Guyana's way of life. Howell emphasized that the national security architecture protects Guyana's patrimony, including its gold, forest, and maritime resources, through collaboration between the joint services, the Guyana Forestry Commission and the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission. These agencies are working to monitor and respond to illegal logging and mining, especially in the hinterland and other vulnerable regions.
We use drones, satellite imagery, another technology, and most important again, along with community intelligence, to provide that information for us to shut down those illegal mining operations.
As a result of these efforts, several illegal logging and mining operations in regions 7, 8, and 9 were shut down over the past year.
We've been able to intercept many gold smuggling operations and unregulated dredging, particularly in our border areas. In this regard, we've deployed forward operating units to act quickly before any damage is done.
Turning to maritime security, Howell noted that the Coast Guard, the Police Marine Wing, Maritime Administration Department, and CANU are actively defending Guyana's marine space. Their work targets illegal fishing vessels as well as drug and arms trafficking routes.
In our exclusive economic zone, especially near our oil exploration installations, we have increased maritime patrols and our domain awareness.
He added that NISA plays a key role in intelligence coordination, ensuring swift responses to all potential threats.
These are just not plans. They're happening now. But we need the public's help too. So if you observe something, whether it's illegal dredging, illegal mining, or a foreign vessel, make a call. Your call can save lives or protect national assets.
Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned. More news is ahead. Thanks for staying with us. You with the HGP Nightly News. A 26-year-old suspected bandit was fatally shot by police during a confrontation in Linden. The man was being pursued in connection with several armed robberies targeting Chinese-owned businesses. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
A 26-year-old man suspected of multiple armed robberies was fatally shot during a late-night exchange of gunfire with police ranks in Linden on Monday. The dead man has been identified as Shamar Prince, an unemployed resident of Wall Street, Aminis Ward, Linden. According to a police report, at around 23:45 hours on July 14, ranks on mobile patrol acting on information went to Prince's residence, which he shared with his 22-year-old girlfriend, Whitney Brasilio, a cook. When the ranks called at the apartment, Brasilio opened the western door to speak with them. At that point, Prince reportedly opened a back door and fired a shot at one of the officers, forcing the rank to take cover. Prince then ran out of the apartment, continuing to discharge rounds at the police, who returned the fire. He was struck and collapsed in the yard. Police recovered a .38 revolver next to Prince containing 3 live rounds and 3 spent shells. A box with 25 additional .38 rounds was also found nearby. He had a black shoulder bag containing his national identification card, his cell phone, $1,000 in cash, a knife, and 5 grams of a whitish rock-like substance suspected to be cocaine. Prince was then taken to the Linden Hospital complex where he died while receiving treatment. 5 bullet wounds were noted on his body, 1 to the head, 3 to the left upper shoulder, and 1 to his chest. The weapon, ammunition, and other items found were sealed and lodged for forensic analysis. His body remains at the Linden Hospital Complex mortuary, awaiting a post-mortem examination. Police were at the time investigating an armed robbery reported earlier that day involving Long Xing, a 38-year-old Chinese businessman of Mackenzie, Linden, and other similar incidents targeting Chinese-owned establishments. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned. Regional news is up next.
Interested in honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel special? HGP TV offers you all that and more. Air your birthday greetings, death announcements, and wedding anniversaries on HGP TV today. HGP TV offers affordable prices, convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.
evening and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Regional News. I'm Antonio Day. We begin with news in Trinidad and Tobago. In just 1 week, police are investigating 3 kidnappings, 2 ending in murders and the third up to 7 p.m. with no ransom demand made. The latest kidnapping is that of 44-year-old mother Janki Sati Karim of Ampu Street, Spring Village, Valselin. Police reported that around 9:50 p.m. on Sunday, Karim was the passenger in a white Toyota Hilux with her family when 3 masked gunmen grabbed her. Also continuing with news in Trinidad and Tobago. The families of the men murdered in Gonzales on Sunday are hoping that troubled youths who may be vulnerable to gangs can receive additional priority as part of renewed efforts to fight crime. The black Nissan Almira passed the men who were off-duty officers, Davy Lamich, 32, Michael Ross, 24, and Josiah Maloney, 23, on the corner of Lange and Jubilee Streets in Gonzales on Sunday afternoon. Gunmen got out of the car and shot the trio, killing them as they tried to run away. Other bystanders ran to safety to avoid the attackers. A small child had been at the scene with adults just minutes before the shooting occurred. Residents took Lamaitre to the hospital where he was declared dead. Officers from the Port of Spain Task Force brought Ross and Maloney to the hospital, where they were also declared dead shortly after. And finally, with some international news. President Vladimir Putin intends to keep fighting in Ukraine until the West engage on his terms for peace unfazed by Donald Trump's threats of tougher sanctions, and his territorial demands may widen as Russian forces advance, 3 sources close to Kremlin said. Trump on Monday expressed frustration with Putin's refusal to agree to a ceasefire and announced a wave of weapons supplies to Ukraine, including Patriot surface-to-air missile systems. He also threatened further sanctions on Russia unless a peace deal was reached within 50 days. Thank you for watching. I'm Antonio Day. Goodbye for now.
APN News list of candidates filled with vibrant and passion-driven youths. Norton, $790 million tugboat ARAU commissioned to support dredging offshore work. JAGS Aviation hosts inaugural youth conference, and national security system now actively combating illegal mining and smuggling. NISA director. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm ALETHEA Grant. Thanks for watching.